Hi and hello, my name is Cass and welcome to my channel where I read a lot of books and I talk about them. We're a little behind because it's technically the 4th as I'm recording this, but here is the beginning of my reading vlog for the month of June, so happy Pride. Last month was, I ended up reading a lot more books than I intended, but it also meant that I did not read all of the books that were on my TBR because I got behind, because I got super obsessed with Heaven Official's Blessing. So instead of starting with Tempest of Tea, I am still reading Ashes in the Star-Cursed King. I'm halfway through it. I got through half of it. I got to the halfway point yesterday. I think I'll be out of work at a decent time today. Another thing that's worked against me is I've been in tech, so I haven't been able to record my wrap up for May yet. I only just now got to record this, so yeah, we are definitely behind, but that's okay. There are 5 weeks in June, and I was already gonna take the 3rd week of the month and not post a video, so I'm just gonna shift everything down, and that'll be fine. So yeah, we're just gonna do that. But a couple days ago, I got a package, and I, of course, know exactly what this is. Where is the perforation? It says tear at the perforation, but I don't think they gave me one. Oh, there it is. And I'm expecting this, so I know what it is, but Shattered Gods came in. So I'm very, very excited. This one, it's just over 300 pages. But the final book in the Dark Olympus series. So yeah, I will be reading this. First thing, as soon as I finish Ashes in the Star-Cursed King, I will be reading this. And then I'll move on to Tempest of Tea, Steeping of Blood and everything, because I am far too excited about this to wait. So this will be fun. So yeah, I will catch up with you guys later, well, I guess I'm halfway through this, so I guess I can talk about it. So this is fine. I don't know. I feel like I am reaching the point that not like a lot of people have reached, kind of, with exhaustion in terms of romantasy. And don't get me wrong, I know this was actually written a while back, I think, but yeah, 2003. But I'm kind of getting to the point where romantasy is just kind of like feels like the same shit different day, because they hit the same beats. I mean, I think the way that Carissa Broadbent does vampires is an interesting twist. I do really like Oriya. I think she's interesting. I really liked her relationship with her father and how like contentious that is. Like, she loves him so much, but he did so much wrong. And I think that's really interesting. So all of that's really cool. I think I'm just getting fatigued in general with romantasy because I don't know. I guess we'll see. Luckily, this month I don't have a lot of romantasy, so I think that will help. It could also be just that, like, I have this obsession with this one, like, book series right now. Or, well, not really the one. I'm also getting into another one of her series. But yeah, it's fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it, it's not gonna go down in my book history as one of the greatest ever or anything, but I like it. So yeah, I'm halfway through. I'm gonna try and finish it, within the next day or two, hopefully, so that I can move on, because I've been reading this, since before the month turned. And it's not its fault, I've just been in tech. And it's really hard to read when you're actively, mixing a show and stuff. So yeah, I will check in when I finish it, and I will then read this and talk about it. I'm very excited, so yeah. Let's go. Hello again. Update. I think it's been a couple days since I filmed that initial one. I meant to film yesterday, but story of my life recently, I was too busy. I had too much happening. I am actually hoping, fingers crossed, that I actually have time to film my wrap-up for last month tomorrow, because yeah, I've not had a moment to breathe, but that's not why we're here. So last we talked, I was halfway through, what's the name of this book? Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and I had just gotten Shattered Gods in the mail, so I have finished both of those. I managed to finish Ashes and the Star-Cursed King yesterday. And then I finished Shattered Gods today. Quick turnaround finally, but that's because I read through Katie Robert books pretty quick. I like them a lot. But, yeah. It's late. So this was good. When I had gotten to the halfway point, I was kind of I think I'm just tired, but it did pick up in the second half. We actually got places. I'll give it credit. It gave me reasons to root for Rain and Aura, where at the end of book 1, I was kind of I don't know how you get past this. I get it now. I see. Proud of them. Definitely some loose threads left, but obviously this is the first duology of a series of 3 duologies, so I guess we'll see where that kind of goes when I get to the next one in 3 months. But yeah, so I think I gave it 4 stars overall. I think I gave the first one 4 stars. They're good for what they are. I mean, they don't The vampire lore is cool. I really like the gods. I think their like pantheon is super interesting. In this book you get to meet, like in the first book you meet one god, one goddess, Nixia, who's like the patron goddess of the vampires. But you get to meet another goddess in this one, and her design is super cool and super freaky, and I love that kind of thing. It's like my favorite. So anyway, yeah, the gods are super interesting. So technically that's the third god you've met in this series if you read the novella. But yeah, overall, I liked it. I didn't hate it. Nothing to particularly write home about for me, which I say that. I gave it 4 stars. So one of these days I'm going to sit down and like actually figure out what my rating system is, because mostly I rate on vibes alone. Which I mean everyone I guess technically does. I feel like I need like a structured list of this is what these numbers mean. So that I can have an easier guide for me going, this was good, but like, and not rating it a 3 or a 3.5. And then, I rated like As Good as Dead, which notoriously, if you have watched my videos on that time of reading, that I hated with all of my soul. And I think I rated that like a 3.5. So yeah, one of these days I'm going to figure out these star rating things. But regardless, off of my issues with figuring out how to properly rate things, I also finished Shattered Gods. This is the conclusion of the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert. And I'd say it was a good conclusion. I definitely think it's difficult to like wrap up such like a 10-book essentially arc while also establishing a whole new, not only just a couple, like a triad. So you've got to not only is this not the first time we're in all of their like points of view, but like you got to convince me that all 3 of these people love each other and want to get together. And that's a hard sell in one book where you're also dealing with the entire fall of a whole like city, which essentially functions as a kingdom, all but. But she did it well. I bought it. There were definitely some things in here that I would have liked to be able to see from other characters' perspectives, that I can't go into without, spoiling, of course, but like there's a huge thing that happens at the end, towards the end of the book, that I'm like, I wish we could go back into like the perspectives of some of the early female leads, because that like affects them directly. And I don't know. So I'm also, of course, curious on where everyone ends up in the aftermath, I guess, because like big things happen. And I'm like, oh, all of our couples that we've been kind of following indirectly at this point. I wonder, what's up with them? What are they gonna go do now? But yeah, outside of like the Poseidon and Icarus, they actually like kind of time skip at the end of their book, so we know that one. It actually puts that one into more context, if anything. But yeah, but overall, I gave it 4.5 stars. I enjoyed it. It was a good conclusion. I don't really have anything to complain about besides me being nitpicky and wanting more in the universe. Because I've been reading those books for 2 years now, something like that. So it's kind of sad for it to end. But I'm glad the conclusion was satisfying, because you can't always say that. Yes, I am looking at the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I will hold that against it forever. Oh my god, forever and ever and ever. So I guess the question then comes, what am I gonna read next? And the answer is, I'm not sure, actually. I thought about going ahead and starting the Tempest of Tea duology. I don't have Steeping of Blood yet. But on the other hand, I just read a romantasy and then a romance, so I'm kind of thinking it would be better if I read one of my dystopian books for this month. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Not sure which one. You know what? Before I decided to read about all this, before my dad recommended these dystopians to me, I had never heard of Brave New World before. So you know what? Let's start there. So I will read Brave New World, which it's under 200 pages, or under 300 pages, so it shouldn't be a hard read. I'll read this next, and then maybe then I'll pick up Tempest of Tea. Once I've kind of taken a break from the fantasy and fantasy romance era. So yeah, we're gonna read this next, and I am going to get Bloody Chamber and Other Stories ordered because it's not in any of my libraries. Because I am really excited to start that one. So yeah, that's the plan. So see you soon to talk about this. Hello. It's kind of late, which is why I'm in my pajamas and shoulder blanket combo. Also, I was really cold earlier. But this late night update is brought to you by I finished Brave New World. I finished it last night, but it was like 11 o'clock at night, so I went directly to bed. But yeah, I finished this. It was odd. Like, it was good. I mean, it took me a minute to kind of get into the language of it. And the writing style. Especially the first couple chapters, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of technical speak, and a lot of, like, I don't know if they're, like, legit concepts or anything, but at the very least, like, some kind, like, a bunch of weird things, because they really go into the eugenics, like, right off the bat. They don't play about the eugenics theme here. So, yeah, so, like, in regards to themes, like, the eugenics theme, like I said, they come out the gate swinging on eugenics. And obviously this is a satire and, you know, meant to, you know, criticize that eugenics, but outside of that, I guess I'm not really, I need to do some research on it, I guess, because I'm not entirely sure what the other themes were meant to be. Because on one hand, you know, you have the quote-unquote civilized people who are, like, obviously so detached. They're, like, not supposed to think too hard, except for the alphas, who are, like, meant to, but, like, in a way that's beneficial to society. And everyone else is not supposed to think too hard, and it's like, you take your small pleasures and you take all this, and that's obviously bad in terms of at least not thinking too deeply, and being genetically engineered to, like, specifically only like certain things. And on the other hand, you have the quote-unquote, like, savage. The savage who comes into civilization, but, like, I don't know if he was trying to make a point that, like, the quote-unquote savage's way was better. It's wild. This man has a name. They call him Mr. Savage in the whole book. His name is John. They almost never use it once he gets to, like, civilization. So, like, it's like, okay, is John meant to be seen as, like, not the protagonist, of course, because that's kind of shared, but like the champion, the one calling out the satire, the one calling out the dystopia, is that supposed to be him? Because if so, I have some critiques. Because bro turns misogynistic like that. In, like, the blink of an eye, this man turns misogynistic against a girl that he really likes. Or supposedly really likes. and starts just flinging slurs at her. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And so I don't know. Like, John exists to make some really good points against one of the, what are they called? I forgot what they're called, but like the commanders, the most important people. And that's great. Except that, like, then he goes off the rails. And he's like beating himself and like as recompense to God. And listen, I have a lot of questions. So yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It was fine. It was interesting, but I definitely feel like I need more context. So I'm probably gonna sit down and like do some research into it and like see like some like analyzation of the themes. And like, I mean, this was published in, 1932. So, I don't know what in that time, because this was before World War II, which I know was big. The Nazis were obviously really big into eugenics, but I wonder, 32, and I think he's he's from England. So I don't think England suffered from a Great Depression the way America did in the 30s, but I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna research more into him and his, like, the themes in his life and how that affected this, because I'm curious. It was interesting, in the back of this book, he actually, it has a letter from him to George Orwell, which, about receiving a copy of 1984, which is what I'm reading now. So nice segue. I finished Brave New World. I swapped into 1984. I'm not super duper far into that. I think I'm only at like page 20. I only read the first chapter so far. So I don't have any particular thoughts yet, but I will come back with those. I'm hoping to sit and read that more tomorrow, because I have to go in for an evening show, so I have the day, and also I've got to go to the DMV tomorrow, so God knows how long I'll be sitting in the DMV. Plenty of reading time. But because I also wanted to record today because I received a package, and it's a package with a book in it. I know this because I ordered it. I have some more books coming in on Saturday. They're books for this month's TBR reading. This one is not, but those are, plus a book for next month's TBR reading. So, big rip noise, sorry. I'll take that out in post. Maybe. Yeah, I think I should be able to. And it is a deluxe hardcover edition because I like pretty books. This is the first time that I've seen it too, outside of pictures. But yeah. It's so pretty. Ooh. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay, I might need to send this back. It's got a huge rip in the, right here, which makes me really upset. So I don't want to have to send it back, but, oh, it's just so big. It's, like, really big. If it was a small thing, I'd kind of be like, whatever, but this is, like, meant for, like, my collection, like, but, regardless, wow, it's very pretty, though. You can see all the metallic, front and back. This is, the first book of the, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which is it's by the same author who wrote, Heaven Official's Blessing. So I started watching the, it's, Donghua, Chinese animation of it. And it seemed really interesting, so I went ahead and got the novel because, of course, because it's a Chinese animation, there's a lot of censorship because it's danmei, relationship between two men. So I'm gonna read the book as well. There's only 5 in this series. Gosh, I'm just so mad about this rip in the thing, because it's really bad. I don't know. I'm thinking about sending it back and getting a new one. Because that's pretty severe damage. But also, I don't know. I haven't decided. I'll decide, I guess. I'll probably text my siblings and see what they think. But yeah, so I got this in. I'm hoping to read it this month. We'll see if I get to it. Fingers crossed. But I definitely want to read a homosexual history this month because it's Pride Month. And there is a depressing lack of, gay novels in my reading this month, which oversight on my part. I was writing the script for next month's TBR, and I'm like, why did I put all of the, queer relationship books in July? Why did I do that? So, whoops. So we're gonna try and get there. I want to read homosexual history this month, and obviously I want to get to this, which is fantastic motivation for getting through the dystopians and whatever else I'm reading this month that I can't remember because it's 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, so that's an update, a long update. But I'm gonna go text my siblings about this rip and see if they think I should send it back, because yeah, I'm kind of really upset about it. But yeah, so hopefully we do some reading tomorrow, and I will come back with an update on 1984 either when I get halfway through or when I finish it, whichever happens before I get to a camera. So have a good night. Hello, it is late. I wish I had a more substantial update on this, but honestly, I've barely read any. I'm on page 40. I got super duper obsessed with this, how I was super obsessed with Heaven Official's Blessing last month. Well, I started watching another one of the same author's novels turned into anime. Donghua is the Chinese term. And I've ordered the book, which I talked about in the last clip. I did end up sending it back so I could get a new one that didn't have the rip in the dust jacket. But since I haven't gotten super far in this, I am only making this because I have gotten some more packages. These are from Thrift Books, so I thought I would open them really quick. I know what all is in them, of course, but since I'm planning on filming my embossing queer books video hopefully tomorrow night, I ended up dog sitting today, so I didn't do it when I originally planned on doing it, which was today, but that's okay. We'll just do it tomorrow night, and it'll be fine. So yeah, but I've got a book in here, of course. I think I haven't talked about it yet, but I will be reading it next month in July, and it is a queer book, so I wanted to read it or get it embossed with my giant pile of the others. Oh, and hey, here it is. So The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. So I will be reading this next month. It's a former library book. Oh, it's actually pretty long. It's over 400 pages, but it's a standalone. But yeah, so I'm gonna emboss this along with y'all, I have so many more queer books than I thought I did, which, I mean, is fine, but I was okay, let me get all my books for my embossing video. I'll probably have a handful. Let me just, carefully, yeah, and this, technically isn't all of them. because I'm leaving 2 of my Heaven Official Blessing books out because they're not the hardbacks, they're the paperbacks that eventually I'm going to replace with the hardbacks, and I'm probably going to give the paperbacks to my mom because she really likes this kind of stuff. And I bought the first 3 on ebook in our shared account so she can read those, and then that's 5 and 6, so I can give those to her, so she only, if she wants to, she only has to buy like 5 or 4 and then 7 and 8. But regardless, so I'm actually, and then I thought about doing The Beast, which is by Katie Robert, one of the Wicked Villains series. But I decided against it because they're polyamorous, and that falls under the queer label. I'm polyamorous. But I just wasn't sure. In this stack of books that are featuring, gay or sapphic relationships, I thought it would be better to maybe leave that one out. So yeah, I decided against it. Ooh. Oh, this is so small. I got, wow, it's really short. I honestly expected this to be longer since it's multiple stories, but Bloody Chamber and Other Stories, which is only 125 pages, so this honestly won't take me super long. I do like this cover. I bought the one that's in acceptable condition. I buy these books all from thrift books. Obviously my pretty deluxe hardback versions of the Chinese novels are all from Amazon, but that's because I can't really get them off of thrift books like I would prefer. But yeah, so I got this, and then I did decide to go ahead and get A Steeping of Blood, which is the sequel to Tempest of Tea, just because I can't get it on any of my library apps, where I would usually get them, or at the library. So I just went ahead and grabbed it. It wasn't super expensive through thrift books. Nothing really is on thrift books unless you're pre-ordering or getting something super brand new. But even then, sometimes they have them half off. So this will go over here. Yeah, and tomorrow I'm going to film my embossing video and talk about all of these books. And probably a little bit about me and my, identity as a bisexual woman, and I don't know how I've questioned it, but yeah, that'll be fun. So I'll film that tomorrow so I can get it edited and put up this Monday. And I promise to read more of this book. I really am trying. I just the obsession, when I'm home, I just want to watch that show. And I found out that Fahrenheit 451 is only 130 something pages. I was like, whoa, this is way shorter than I thought it was. So that one won't take too terribly long. But yeah, so hopefully come back and talk more about this in the next clip. So see you then. wow. I turned on the camera and I forgot what words were. I have received a package. Haha. It is, as you might imagine, books. Oh, I'm a little concerned though, because the thing is a little off. I also finished a couple books last night. You probably just saw me, continuing to slowly work my way through this. It has taken time. But last night I was like, alright, I need to read something that I can finish. Because this whole not finishing anything is kind of getting to me. And, so I did. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But I ordered myself... Oh... Oh. Ooh. These are really pretty. Wow. Okay. I got myself the deluxe hardback editions of the Scum Villain Self-Saving System. Which only came in this one big box set. You couldn't buy the hardbacks individually, so I reluctantly coughed up the whole money. Unlike with the others, where I'm like slowly just buying one at a time, like one or two every like paycheck or so. I'm still waiting for my replacement Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the first one. It was supposed to get here Sunday. It's now Tuesday. And then they changed it and they were like, it'll be there Wednesday. And I'm like, come on! Not that it matters because it's not like I'd be able to read it yet anyway, but I have an obsession at the moment, let me tell you, with this specific author and all her danmei. So this, Scum Villain Self-Saving System is, the first series she ever wrote. It's also therefore the shortest. It's only got 4 volumes. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation has 5, and then Heaven Official's Blessing has 8. So really jumped up with that one. Oh, what else is in here? I got a mini art book with it. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh my gosh. I love the art for all of these. They're so pretty. Well, that makes me very... Oh, okay. So it has... And then sketches and... Oh! I love... Oh, my God. Thank God. It, It has a legend. Thank goodness. I love these books. I love the series. Like, I just finished watching the Donghua of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, and everyone always has multiple names, and it just gets really confusing sometimes, and the anime is a little easier, kind of, sort of, but I definitely was sitting there, like, with my phone, like, looking it up, like, who is this person? Who were they? What? Until I finally got it down, and now... her name... Oh, interesting. And now I'm, like, getting a bunch of content from Scum Villain Self-Saving System on my TikTok, which is great, except sometimes they be talking about names that I don't know yet. I haven't read these books yet. I kind of sort of started the weird 3D Donghua, and wow, it's really weird, and kind of bad, but I kind of love it at the same time. It's kind of janky. But yeah, so they're like mentioning all these names. I'm like, who are these people? What? Who are you? So yeah, we're thank God we're gonna read the books. And we're gonna figure it out. But yeah, so I have all 4 volumes now, so that's really exciting. And I have this like big pretty ooh. Yo. It came with posters. Okay, the amount of money I spent on this, worth it. I didn't spend that much. Like it about what I expected to spend. If I had bought all 4 of these at the same time in a normal version. So getting these extras are super nice, and I super love that because it was like $93. And usually on Amazon, which is where I get these because I can't get them off thrift books and everything. Usually each hardback deluxe hardcover is like $23. So it was maybe a little more, but about what I would expect to pay with if I had bought these individually. So, and then I got the art book and these cool posters, and yeah, and these, of course, surprising no one, are absolutely gorgeous. But no one's surprised there. Thank God they have the name in the guide, because yeah, I'm gonna struggle a little bit initially. But yeah, so I'm very excited to start these. I'm hoping I can maybe start them this month. I'm hoping, but we'll see. I've gotta claw my way through 1984 before we can get there. But yeah. Oh, all right. Those are gonna go on my shelf. I'm gonna have to redo my bookshelves again. I think I'm gonna have to put all my pretty Don Mays, or on my my bookshelf, my like normal bookshelf, so that I can actually display them, kind of, instead of like them just kind of hanging out on my rotating bookshelf. But we'll get there. Anyway, like I said, let me go get them. So, last night I read and finished Fahrenheit 451, and I also read and finished Bloody Chamber. The ironic part about all of this is combined, these 2 books were like, do just under 300 pages, which means that like if I had dedicated the same amount of time, I probably could have finally finished this. I don't know what it is, guys. This is just not catching my attention. Like I just so don't care about this main character. Which is deeply unfortunate. But we'll get more into that later. Let's talk about what I've actually finished. So, I read and finished this. It was fine. I mean, it's the best of the dystopian books I've read so far. I like it the most out of them. I kind of liked that it was short, that it was only like 150-ish pages. I feel like it really kind of kept it moving, like we got through it. I definitely think the main character, he made some choices. He kind of lost his marbles a little bit. He just went directly off the deep end. The second he found out that things were wrong in the world, he was like, and this, I am going to cause so many problems that I cannot solve. And he did that. And you know what? Respect. But, maybe make better choices, my dude, when you are attempting to, like, spark some kind of revolution or something. But yeah, overall, I liked it. I guess I would kind of be more interested in, like, because I mean it talks about how they got there to that point, and I guess that's all you really needed to know. But yeah, I don't know. It was fine. I liked it fine. I think the problem I'm having with these older dystopian novels, despite the fact they're very much classics, and I can very much see the reasoning for that. The problem is, for me, I think, is that they were written so long ago, and while in so many ways, like, that is still very, like, the especially, this one, especially 1984, like, the constant surveillance and, like, the trying to get rid of books because they don't want people to be more educated, like, all of that is still very, very relevant. I think it's just I think it's the writing style. And also, like, while a lot of this is still, like, a big thing today, and it's warnings that unfortunately we never heeded, there are definitely some biases in here that come from these being written and published by men who lived in the early 1900s. It's coming across kind of bad in this one, because the misogyny is doing misogyny a little bit. It was kind of bad in Brave New World, with the quote-unquote the savage, like, suddenly turning and being super misogynistic out of nowhere. That was super not fun. This one's not quite so bad, but it kind of portrays, there are, like, two female characters that are, like, have anything to say, and one of them is a child. She's, 17. And the other one is shown to be, like, super duper weak-willed and everything. And it just, I don't know. It just, I guess just the way, like, they're written is just not my favorite thing. But they're culturally relevant. Like, I understand why they've had staying power for so long. God, if I could just get through in 1984, though. I'm trying. I'm about a third of the way through now, so we're getting there. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's, like, I'm sure I'll have more, like, established, like, thought through thoughts when I actually do my wrap up, and everything. But yeah, that's just kind of the vibes I'm feeling right now. On the opposite side of the spectrum, more feminist retellings, is I read The Bloody Chamber and Other Stories. It's not long at all. They're, like, the whole thing's like 126 pages. Some of these stories were literally approximately, like, 2 pages. Overall, I really liked it. Some of the stories kind of made me raise an eyebrow, and there are a couple of these that are retelling, like, 2 different retellings of the same fairy tale, which I thought was kind of weird but interesting. Like, you have 2 different retellings of Beauty and the Beast right next to each other, and 2 different versions of Little Red Riding Hood, like, right next to each other. But they're different endings. They have the same basic story, but they end differently, so there's that. So yeah, I really liked it. Can't really talk too much details about plot and stuff because they're short stories without getting into some weird stuff, but definitely not a book for children. It's got some weird things going on in here. But yeah, I think I gave Fahrenheit 451 a 4-star. I gave this a 4.5 star. So yeah, we are gonna continue getting our way through 1984, because once I finish 1984, I can finally move on to Tempest of Tea and Steeping of Blood, and then I can order Rouge from the library, or put it on hold. And once I'm through all that, then I can just, I'm gonna read so many gay books. We'll start with horrible history, or homosexual history. Sorry, I got it mixed up with that YouTube channel. 'Cause bad gays. But yeah, so we are trucking through. We'll see how far I get by this weekend because, tonight I'm going out to eat because I want to treat myself a little. But this weekend after the show closes, I've got shared birthday party with two of my friends. So I will be doing that then and probably won't get a lot of reading done, if historically I usually don't. That's actually a birthday party. My birthday party with my friends was what caused me to lose my 200 something day reading streak because I super forgot to read. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so we've got the rest of the week. Hopefully we finish this and we can move on before I end this reading vlog. We'll see. But see you in the next clip. It is Saturday. It's been a minute since I did an update, but this will be our last one because I have a birthday party to go to tomorrow, so I will not have time to record anything or edit anything to get this post on Monday, so I'm just going to do it today. But lots of progress since the last we talked, so I got through all of Scumvillain Self-Saving System. All 4 books, which is the 3 of the actual story and then the 4th full of all the extras. I liked it. It was good. Very acute and also a little traumatizing. Not nearly as traumatizing as Heaven Official's Blessing. I haven't technically read Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation yet. I did get that updated without the Hurt Dust Jacket. But I've watched the donghua of it, and that was pretty traumatizing, so I'm sure the book will be just as bad, if not worse. But yeah, it was good. I really liked it. I'm on the Don May train, and we are going full stop. We're gonna see how many different English versions I can find of different ones. But yeah, so I got through all 4 of those in 2 or 3 days. I didn't intend on reading them before finishing my list for this month, but what happened. However, I'm not quite halfway through, but I'm almost halfway through Tempest of Tea. So I like it okay so far. I definitely have a lot of world building questions, I'd say. I have a lot of question marks with that. But so far I like Arthi. I like Jin, her adopted brother. I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it. They're putting together this whole heist. I have a lot of questions about their apparent plan. So we'll see what happens. I am, like I said, I'm not quite halfway through. I think I just passed the 100-page mark, so maybe about a third of the way through. So we'll continue with this one. I'm gonna put in my hold for Rouge by Mona Awad, and then of course I've got Steeping of Blood right there. So yeah, that's where we're at so far. I'm gonna finish my list, and then I'm gonna start Bad Gaze, and eventually I will start Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. We'll see if we get to that this month. I am glad I got to read some queer queer stuff for Pride Month. We did get it in there, even if I don't quite get through everything else. But, you know, I still have a little over a week and a half before the month ends. So, like, and my show closes tomorrow. So, hopefully that will give me some free time to sit in my house and just read some books. So, that being said, I also have somewhere I have to go next weekend. I have to go back to my parents' house. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, not terribly much to update today, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I read 4 books since the last time, but yeah. I am very tired. I won't get into my whole life update, but I've been very, very tired recently for health reasons, but here we are. Tomorrow's gonna be fun to hang out with my friends, and we will get through some more reading and some more recording next week, and life marches on. So I hope you enjoyed my little reading vlog. I hope, you know, you maybe read some of these books yourselves. If I can get anyone else onto the Dawn May train with me, I would love that for me. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!